Hey guys, what's going on? Jurijs here. Today's video is a behind the scenes video. So what is happening here? You see 90p aquarium. I'm scaping it and there is a professional photographer behind me, and because he's professional you cannot see him. No, just the dynamic range of the camera is really crappy. Guys, this is a behind the scenes shooting for an ebook that I'm working on. So very soon there's going to be an ebook, and in this video I'm going to show you the making of process, sort of a very quick, very short process. And yeah, just stick around, watch me scaping this beautiful 90 centimeters aquarium. So guys, this is half time. This means we have the hardscape in place. For the hardscape I have used manzanita wood, beautiful driftwood from the United States, as well as mini landscape rock, aka Cerio, Rio stone, you name it, all kind of trade names. Super cool rock. It's actually my favorite rock to use because it's super affordable and yeah, come in various sizes and you can get it almost everywhere. Let's talk about how I built the hardscape. When building the hardscape, I first put in 3 bags of Tropica soil, just to have like a starting slope in the bag to secure the pieces of wood. I also used 2 rocks to also help secure the driftwood, to keep it in place. And the idea is here, as you can clearly see, to have a triangular shape. So I started building this triangular shape by using the largest pieces first. Yeah, and then I started building around it with other branches and then filled in the gaps with rocks. And I've been doing it in a way that I started here at the base. So I put the rocks in between, so it looks like this wood or roots, whatever that is, like an ancient sort of structure here that has been here for billions of years, that it is crawling and growing above the rocks and in between. The tree is of course dead as by now, but we are going to use epiphyte plants and bring it back to life. So when the main structure of driftwood was inside, I secured it from all sides with rocks. And next step, I filled in a tiny little bit of sand just to get an idea what it is going to look like, until where I have to secure it, etc. And then I started to glue things in place. Guys, if you are a regular watcher, you know I like to secure hardscape in place with the super glue and yeah, the cigarette filter, or nowadays I use cotton pads, like to remove makeup. Super easy to rip apart and you get it everywhere. And yeah, so I put little pieces of the cotton pads in between the hardscape, mainly the driftwood, to keep it in place. As you can see, I can shake it and everything is, like super secure, super stiff. It's all in place. All the rocks are interconnected, everything. Not much can happen with that. So, you can do maintenance, you can bump into things and the scape still remains. So once the hardscape was in place, I filled up a little bit more soil in the bag and I took the Tropica nutrition capsules. Here we have them. We have here Tropica nutrition capsule. This is a little pro tip. Use nutrition capsules right from the beginning in your soil and get this little extra boost for your plant roots. This way you're kind of preventing soil from kind of losing the nutrients, and you should replace them or just renew the capsules every 3 months. This way your substrate is always going to be on the top level with the nutrients. And the best thing is you cannot overdose with nutrition capsules because they do not dissolve to water. They're only decomposed by bacteria and then the nutrients provided to the plant roots. So this is a super easy and safe way to fertilize your plants through the substrate. And this is my favorite way to feed the plants, through the substrate. And a lot of plants in here are going to be substrate feeders. And yeah, that kind of wraps up this part so far. Next step, I'm going to fill in just a little bit more of the La Plata sand, just to raise the height to approximately, I don't know, like 1 finger deep, and then a little bit more towards the mid-ground. And I'm going to fill in some La Plata in that mid-section, and I'm going to top the soil in that mid-section with sand. This is a pro tip I learned from Josh Sim and his Green Aqua Masters seminar or workshop video. This way you kind of prevent soil from mixing with sand because you kind of top the soil with sand and it's blocked in there, and then it's going to be covered with plants anyway. So guys, now you see the aquarium already planted, and for the planted state, yeah, I would like to take you through what has happened meanwhile. So first things first, I have filled up a little bit of cosmetic sand in all those areas in between the stones. And after that, I filled those gaps with just smashed rocks, small pieces, those graded gravels. You can just take a hammer and smash them small, the same time material rocks, so you have this gradation from sand to the larger rocks. Yeah, and then basically we started planting, and to get the idea how to plant the aquarium, I used my favorite technique of planting maps just by placing the plants into the aquarium. You can use just the plant labels, the cups, you know, from the one to grow, or just put the entire plant into the aquarium. That's what we did. Me and the customer, we discussed where the plants should be. By the way, I'm making this ebook based on a customer tank, so this is German efficiency. So yeah, when the planting map was completed, I just started planting the aquarium, and I just took one plant at a time, took it out of the packaging, removed the gel, washed off the liquid. If there was rock wool, I removed the rock wool, and then started planting. I started in the background. First things first, I planted the Cryptocoraini balansai. Then I mixed in between the Cryptocoraini balansai Eliocharis montovidensis. This is the long, really long Eliocharis. Then I put on the left and on the right from these very tall Eliocharis, the Eliocharis articularis, to create some sort of a transition. Then I have on the left, in the middle, and on the right, Bluxa japonica. This is now one of my favorite plants since it has been reintroduced to the Tropica 1 to grow range. This is like the first time it's there, limited edition, but it's going to make it into a permanent edition by the time you see that video, probably. Okay, next I mixed in a little bit of Helantium tenellum as well as the Hygrophila araguaia just to get some more gradation, some red accents. So those plants blended, mixed in the background, all kind of grassy look, all green, some reddish in the balansai, some reddish in the araguaia, so we have this repetitive theme. Next, I planted the Bucephalandra wavy green. Something cool about Bucephalandras from Tropica, they are sustainably produced in Tropica nurseries, not wild connected, so this is sustainable Bucephalandras. Pay attention to this, guys. Don't buy wildly collected Bucephalandras. Don't support those guys who are ripping the plants out of the biotopes. However, Bucephalandra wavy green, cleaned off the rock wool and then just simply stuffed with tweezers in between the rocks in the foreground and the midground, basically what you can see from the front. I tried to keep all the Bucephalandras in the lower third to create this cohesive theme. And the final addition to the tank were the ferns. I used two types of ferns. For that reason, I used the Tropica Aqua Decor because that provided me big, grown, mature plant. I chopped off all the leaves. I removed the plant from the bockwood that the fern was growing on, so I had like a cluster of the fern. Yeah, I said already I trimmed down all the leaves. The reason for that is they were way too big. They would die off very likely in the aquarium from my experience, and if they wouldn't, however, I want a new growth, small growth, adapted to exact this tank, exact these conditions, and that source of light and the direction of the light. Yeah, so that's what I did. I chopped down the trident fern, same for the bulbitis fern, and I created like a line of trident fern on this thick branch. And then we have some sort of a cave underneath, under those branches. And then I have two more patches of the bulbitis on the top and on the bottom down there, like slightly behind the trident fern, because bulbitis is going to produce longer leaves and come to the front, mix with it. And yeah, just a tiny little bit of bulbitis is sitting up here, a little piece of rhizome. This is a pro tip, kind of trick I learned from Takashi Amano, which he shared during one of his seminars. Basically, if you want to have bulbitis growing immersed out of water, simply position it somewhere close to the water surface and let it grow out on its own. And now guys, before we wrap up this video, a quick rundown on the hardware. We have here next to the aquarium position a OASE Biomaster Thermo filter. You know, I trust and love those filters, so that tank is going to be equipped with that filter. And yeah, above here we have the ONF Flat One, the 3-foot, I think, the 90 centimeters pendant version, together with the, it's called the square, which is the mount. Yeah, it's adjustable. You can use it both for 60 for 90 centimeters. Super cool. It's going to be equipped with a pressurized CO2 system provided by GBL, and by now I'm out of breath. Whew. The reason is I have to catch my train. Guys, this is it for the quick behind the scenes. This exact aquarium is, I have a ton of pictures made by the photographer who happens to be the client. And yeah, this is going to be a super cool book, an ebook, and there will be a quick guide that is going to be available for free download. So yeah, stick around to find out when this one is coming. And yeah, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to smash the like button, boom, boom, smash the button. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Peace.